They say if you want to understand the past of mankind, go to Egypt. But if you want to understand how humans evolved from the past to the future, go to China. With a history of more than 5,000 years, China is not just a country, but a world of its own with majestic landscapes, the majestic Himalayas, mysterious deserts, quiet ancient villages, and bright megacities. On this journey, we will not only cross high mountains, long rivers, or bustling cities, but also explore the soul of this great civilization. If you love deep cultural journeys like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to share your feelings, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And now, let's begin the journey to discover China, a mysterious and colorful country, where the past and the future blend in every breath. Few places in the world are as fascinatingly paradoxical as China, where you can have one foot in ancient history and the other in the technological future. With an area of over 9.6 million square kilometers, China is the fourth largest country on the planet, stretching from the Tibetan Plateau to the Pacific coast. It is also home to more than 1.4 billion people, the world's largest population, with more than 50 ethnic minorities and hundreds of languages and dialects coexisting in a multi-layered, multidimensional cultural space. Its geographical location is both a strategic advantage and a source of astonishing diversity. To the west are mountains, deserts, and plateaus. To the east are plains, deltas, and bustling cities. Each region has its own identity, from architecture, cuisine, language to lifestyle, creating a vivid overall picture. The most special thing is the fascinating contrast: the ancient city wall towering over the high-speed train line, the sound of temple bells mixed with the sound of machinery, the traditional countryside next to the modern city. And in this journey of discovery, we will start from west to east, from the sacred land of Tibet to the vibrant coastal cities, to open up the vivid layers of a China that is colorful, multi-layered, and full of surprises. There are places that will amaze you with their natural beauty, and places that will silence you with their spiritual depth. Tibet is a place where both come together. The Tibetan Plateau, the roof of the world, is located at an altitude of more than 4,500 meters, where snow-capped mountains curve under clear skies all year round, and the Himalayas stand like pillars connecting the earth and the sky. This is not just a land, it is a state of mind. Tibet is the heart of Vajrayana Buddhism. On the mountain slopes and windy grasslands, chants echo from ancient monasteries like the Potala, once the palace of the Dalai Lamas, both a symbol of power and a mystical spiritual center. Prayer flags flutter, chakras spin endlessly, and sacred meditation rituals take people beyond the limits of time. Nomadic life is still attached to herds of cattle, tents, and seasonal migrations, rustic yet tranquil. People believe in reincarnation, with mysterious stories about souls, signs of reincarnation, and the connection between this life and the next. Saying goodbye to the spiritual land of Tibet, the journey will take us to Xinjiang, where desert sand dunes, green oases, and ancient merchant footprints tell the legend of the Silk Road. If Tibet brings us closer to the spiritual world, Xinjiang opens a completely different chapter, where the desert winds still carry the echoes of the ancient Silk Road. Xinjiang is a vast land in the far west of China, where the Taklamakan Desert, one of the harshest deserts in the world, stretches to the horizon. The journey through the Taklamakan is a test of patience and faith, when amidst the vast sea of sand, there still appear green oases, ancient vestiges, and whispers of history. This is also the homeland of the Uyghurs, an ethnic group with a strong Central Asian Muslim identity, with their own language, enchanting music with the sound of the rawap, graceful dances, spicy cuisine with lamb, grilled bread, and typical milk tea. In ancient cities like Kashgar and Turpan, the winding cobblestone alleys, colorful bazaars, and dome-shaped architecture with a strong Middle Eastern feel recall the glorious days of ancient merchants. The traditional market system is not only a place for trading, but also the soul of the community where people trade, chat, and preserve the traditional way of life. From the footsteps of ancient merchants in Xinjiang, we will continue to travel north to Inner Mongolia, where vast grasslands stretch, and the sound of horse hooves echoes across the horizon. Amidst the wind whistling through the vast grasslands, and the echo of horse hooves echoing from the horizon, the Inner Mongolian steppe appears as an endless epic of nomadic life. Here, people live in the vast nature with their own rhythm, wild, fierce, and also full of romance. The Mongolians still maintain the tradition of hunting birds with eagles, an art that requires a deep connection between humans and animals. Horse races on the steppe are not only a game, but also an occasion for the community to gather and relive the indomitable spirit of their ancestors. Mongolian music, with its slow singing like the wind blowing and the echoing traditional instruments, is the soul of this land, reflecting the aspirations, nostalgia, and pride of a people living between the vast sky and the deep cold nights. In the ever-changing modern world, there are still Mongolians who choose to preserve the nomadic lifestyle as guardians of the memories of the steppe. They live in harmony with the harsh nature -40 degrees in winter, dry summers, with a fortitude forged over many generations. Leaving the vast grasslands of Inner Mongolia, we continue our journey to southwest China, to Sichuan, the land of pandas, majestic mountains, and unmistakable spicy flavors. In the heart of southwest China, where mountains and rivers meander everywhere, Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, emerges as a gentle yet vibrant gem. Dubbed the City of Pandas and Tea Ceremony, this place is home to the world-famous Giant Panda Conservation Center. In the quiet and green space, the image of lazy pandas chewing bamboo or playing innocently has become a symbol associated with Chengdu's identity, attracting millions of tourists to admire and learn about conservation work. But Chengdu is not only about nature and cuteness. This city also conquers diners with its famous Sichuan cuisine, where the spicy taste of chili, the numbing taste of pepper, and the rich aroma of a series of local spices create dishes that people will never forget. When night falls, under the stage lights, the Peking opera mask transformation art makes the audience amazed, when each mask changes in an instant, revealing the unique depth of folk culture. Saying goodbye to the gentle and unique Chengdu, the next journey takes us down the Yangtze River to explore Chongqing, a 3D city standing between mountains and rivers, where architecture and modern life intersect with rare majestic terrain. If there is a city that makes visitors look up and then look down in amazement, it is Chongqing, the most unique 3D city in China. Built on steep mountain slopes, where layers of roads, houses and subways overlap like a maze, Chongqing appears as an architectural masterpiece amidst rugged nature. High-rise buildings rise from the mountainside, bridges span deep ravines, and subways go through apartment buildings, all create an urban landscape that is both surreal and vibrant. As a major center of the southwest region, Chongqing not only stands out for its urban form, but also maintains its unique culture, blending modern life with the open-minded, simple spirit of the people of the mountains. Underneath the concrete and lights, life still goes on every day on the Yangtze River, where ships and boats pass busily, carrying goods, memories, and even dreams of making a living. From bustling riverside wharves to floating markets, Chongqing's breath is closely linked to the constant flow of water. When night falls, the city seems to awaken with thousands of lights, shimmering on the river surface, a vivid picture of Chongqing that never sleeps. And from here, we continue our journey down the Yangtze River, the great river that has witnessed thousands of years of history and the fierce survival of the Chinese nation. Like a vein running through the giant body of China, the Yangtze River, or Chongjiang, is not only the longest river in Asia, but also the soul of Chinese civilization throughout thousands of years of history. From its source in the Tibetan plateau to the mouth of Shanghai, This river has nurtured countless generations, witnessed the formation of dynasties, ancient cities, and great changes in Chinese society. The Yangtze is the vital waterway, the place for agricultural and commercial development, and the irreplaceable cradle of culture. The landscape along which the river passes is equally majestic, from rugged gorges, spectacular bends, to massive structures such as the Three Gorges Dam, an engineering marvel, and the world's largest hydroelectric power plant. Along both banks, life goes on every day, from simple small villages to bustling cities, all depending on the water and products of the river. However, the Yangtze River is also facing increasing challenges. Climate change causes unusual droughts or floods, and industrial encroachment weakens the ecosystem. Saying goodbye to the historic river that is undergoing challenges, the journey takes us north, where the Great Wall stands tall in the sky, an immortal symbol of the national will and strength to protect China's borders for thousands of years. When stepping on the ancient stone steps of the Great Wall, we seem to be entering a page of living history, where the will and intelligence of many generations of Chinese people have crystallized into each brick and each wall spanning the mountains. This magnificent work was not built in just one king or dynasty, but is the result of centuries of labor, from the time of Qin Shi Huang to the Ming Dynasty. Each period left its own mark on the architecture, length and location of the Great Wall. Not only are there famous sections near Beijing such as Badaling or Muxianyu, but in the far north, there are also wild and little-known parts of the Great Wall, shrouded in mist and moss, like secrets waiting to be discovered. There are also countless legends surrounding the Great Wall, from the story of Meng Jiang crying for her husband and causing the wall to collapse, to the legends about the spirits guarding the border, all contributing to the cultural depth of the work, which is not only of military value but also a spiritual symbol. However, in the age of mass tourism, the Great Wall also faces many dangers. Erosion, vandalism, and excessive commercialization are threatening the pristine beauty and sacredness of this heritage. Leaving the majestic Great Wall, the journey continues to take us to Beijing, the thousand-year-old capital where the past intertwines with the future, and each street tells a part of the story of modern China. Beijing, where every step echoes the sound of history, is a rare city in the world that can reconcile the past of thousands of years with the modern pace of life down to the second. The heart of the Chinese capital beats throbbingly among iconic structures, such as the majestic Forbidden City, where emperors ruled over their people, the vast Tiananmen Square witness to important historical moments, and the serene Temple of Heaven where the mandate of heaven is prayed for with solemn rituals. Each location is not only a relic, but also a living piece in the collective memory of the entire nation. Not only architecture and history, Beijing's spiritual culture is equally unique. A quiet tea ceremony, soft ink strokes in calligraphy, or Peking opera performances with resonant melodies and colorful masks, all demonstrate the depth of traditional culture. Yet Beijing today is also a hub of innovation, where high-tech interactive museums are changing the way people perceive heritage, turning history into a multisensory experience. Amidst the city's vibrant life, Beijing's young generation is shaping a new identity, confident, global, yet rooted in its roots. It is this East-West fusion that makes Beijing shine with its ancient and modern beauty. From this ancient capital, the journey takes us to Shanghai, where the bright lights paint a portrait of a prosperous China, where the past, present and future converge on every street corner. If Beijing is the memory of an empire, Shanghai is a window to the world, flashy, youthful, and always on the move. The city is a multi-layered mosaic, where the colonial architecture of the Bund stands next to modern skyscrapers like the Oriental Pearl Tower, a dazzling symbol of a China on the rise at breakneck speed. The urban landscape is not only visually stunning, but also a reminder of a complex history and a bright future. When the sun sets, Shanghai truly wakes up. The nightlife here is bustling with bars, nightclubs, bustling food streets, and an energetic youth expressing their individuality through fashion, music, and street art. Neighborhoods like Tianzifang have become new cultural hotspots, where art studios, quirky cafes, and contemporary galleries mingle in quaint alleyways. This is also a clear manifestation of the rise of China's creative economy, where art, technology, and business thrive together. After experiencing the vibrant and modern life of Shanghai, our journey will lead to Jiangnan, the land of poetry and ink paintings, where winding canals and ancient gardens preserve the quiet beauty of time. If there is a place in China where time seems to stand still, it is Jiangnan, a land of quiet beauty like a vivid ink painting. Here, ancient cities like Suzhou and Hangzhou still retain their elegant architecture, meticulous ancient gardens with lotus ponds, boulders and winding corridors, and a system of canals interwoven like silk. Walking across the curved stone bridges, or sitting on an ancient boat drifting past moss-covered roofs, one can easily feel a poetic space where nature and humanity blend together to the point of being almost inseparable. Jiangnan culture is as exquisite as its landscape. Here, the art of calligraphy, ink painting, and traditional musical instruments such as the pipa and guqin are not only preserved, but also continue to inspire the younger generation. This land was once the resting place of many famous poets of the Tang and Song dynasties, who left behind thousands of immortal poems, turning the rivers and gardens here into symbols of Asian artistic passion. Jiangnan is a gentle symphony between history and spiritual beauty. And from that peaceful place, the journey moves south to Guangdong, where cuisine is not only a need for survival, but also a living language connecting people, culture, and memories. In Guangdong, people don't just eat to fill their stomachs, they eat to tell stories, and every dim sum breakfast is a flavorful chapter in that enchanting culinary book. The culture of yum-cha, enjoying morning tea with exquisite dim sum dishes, is not simply a habit, but a social and community-connecting ritual. In restaurants bustling with chatter, the sound of food carts and the aroma of steamers, one finds a part of the soul of Guangdong, bustling, connected, and full of identity. Guangzhou City, the major center of Guangdong Province, has been an international trade gateway for hundreds of years. The cultural exchange between China and the West is clearly marked in the architecture, from traditional old houses to Catholic churches and French colonial buildings scattered throughout the city. Not only a meeting place for merchants, Guangdong is also the birthplace of waves of immigration to all over the world. Overseas Chinese bring their hometown flavors to San Francisco, Australia, and Southeast Asia, and vice versa. They also bring back overseas influences that enrich local life. Amidst the modern and international pace of life, Guangdong still retains its own unique flavor. From the quiet breath of Guangdong, we look up to another China that is shining, where tradition holds hands with technology, and thousand-year memories still resonate in the sleepless cities. China today is not only a land of millennial heritage, but also a place where technology and innovation are booming, bringing the country into a new era at an unprecedented pace. Breakthroughs in technology, from space exploration to artificial intelligence development, have turned China into one of the world's leading innovation powers. Space exploration projects, intelligent robots, and big data systems have not only broadened scientific horizons, but also changed the way people live and work, creating new opportunities and challenges. In addition, education is considered the key to sustainable development, with the younger generation increasingly equipped with global knowledge and ambitions. They not only inherit rich cultural heritage, but are also future makers, carrying the aspiration to bring China into the international arena with an important role. Advanced training programs and global connections have created a generation ready to innovate, create, and integrate deeply. In this intersection, China not only preserves the past, but also continues to write an inspiring development story, a journey to affirm its position and stature on the world map. China, a vast country in East Asia, is famous for its thousand-year-old culture, magnificent landscapes, and strong development. From the Great Wall to modern Shanghai, from pristine nature to rich cuisine, this country has a harmonious beauty between tradition and modernity. China is not only an economic power but also preserves a unique cultural identity. What do you think about China's rapid development? Leave a comment to let me know. China's terrain is very diverse, including plateaus, plains, dense forests, deserts, and long coastlines. To the west is the Tibetan Plateau, the roof of the world, home to the highest peak on the planet, Mount Everest. To the east are fertile plains such as the North China Plain and the Yangtze River Delta, the center of economic and agricultural development. China has many large rivers, of which the Yangtze and Yellow rivers play an important role in history and life. With a diverse climate from temperate to tropical, China possesses a rich ecosystem, suitable for many types of agriculture and tourism. China is a country with many famous tourist destinations, each with its own beauty and unique mark. Beijing, the capital of the country, is a city steeped in history with ancient architectural works. The most prominent is the Forbidden City, the majestic royal palace that was once the residence of Chinese emperors. Nearby is Tiananmen, an important political symbol, and the Summer Palace, a large royal garden with beautiful scenery, imbued with ancient architectural art. In contrast to the ancient appearance of Beijing, Shanghai is the most modern economic center of China. This city stands out with skyscrapers, including the Shanghai Tower, one of the tallest buildings in the world. When night falls, the Shanghai Bund sparkles with brilliant lights, creating an extremely splendid and impressive scene. Chinese women today play an important role in many areas of society. They are not only good mothers and wives, but also talented leaders, entrepreneurs, scientists, and artists. In the work environment, more and more women are holding high positions in large corporations, contributing to strong economic development. In addition, Chinese women also pay great attention to education and career. They constantly learn and improve their skills to assert themselves in modern society. In addition, in the fields of art, sports, and entertainment, many female artists and athletes have achieved outstanding achievements, bringing the image of Chinese women to the world. However, they still face many challenges, such as the pressure to balance family and work. However, with the spirit of independence and social progress, Chinese women are increasingly asserting their position, becoming symbols of strength, intelligence, and courage. China has a diverse and majestic terrain, with many world-famous natural wonders. One of the symbols of China's geography is the Himalayas, home to Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, always covered in white snow all year round. This is a dream destination for mountain climbers, and is the natural boundary between China and Nepal. Besides majestic mountains, China also has vast deserts such as the Gobi Desert. As one of the largest deserts in the world, the Gobi has a wild beauty with long sand dunes, arid steppes, and unique flora and fauna. This is also a land rich in historical value, which was once an important part of the legendary Silk Road. In addition, China also has long and rich rivers, the most prominent of which is the Yangtze River. This is the longest river in Asia, and the third longest in the world, playing an important role in agriculture, transportation, and economy. Along both sides of the river are bustling cities such as Shanghai, Wuhan, Chongqing, helping to connect major economic regions of China. Not only mountains, deserts, or big rivers, China also impresses with the Longji terraced fields. The green terraces stretch across the hillsides, reflecting the bright sunlight, creating a beautiful natural picture. This is not only a smart form of farming for ethnic minorities, but also an attractive destination for tourists. With diverse terrain, from high mountains to big rivers, from deserts to plains, China is a country with rich natural beauty, attracting tourists to explore and experience. Chinese cuisine is famous for its diversity and unique flavors. Each dish has its own sophistication. When mentioning Peking duck, people cannot forget the crispy skin, soft and sweet meat, and rich sauce, creating an irresistible flavor. If you love spicy food, Sichuan tofu is the perfect choice. This dish stands out with the spicy, tingling flavor of chili and Sichuan pepper, creating a unique taste stimulation. Similarly, Chongqing spicy hot pot also impresses diners with its bright red, spicy hot pot broth, combined with many types of meat and vegetables, bringing a challenging culinary experience. Besides spicy dishes, dim sum is a typical representative of Cantonese cuisine, with small, pretty cakes, with diverse fillings from shrimp, meat to vegetables, attractive in both flavor and appearance. Finally, candied fruit is a traditional snack, with sweet and sour hawthorn balls covered in shimmering sugar, associated with the childhood of many Chinese people. These dishes not only show the richness of Chinese cuisine, but also carry the cultural characteristics of each region. China is a country with a long-standing culture with many architectural works of profound historical and spiritual significance. Among them, the Forbidden City is a symbol of the power of feudal dynasties. Located in the heart of Beijing, this magnificent palace was the residence of the emperor for more than 500 years. The brilliant golden-tiled roofs, symmetrical architecture, and sophisticated carvings demonstrate the authority and pinnacle of Chinese architectural art. In addition, the Great Wall is one of the greatest wonders of the world, stretching thousands of kilometers from east to west. This work was built through many dynasties to protect the country from invasion from the north. The solid walls and towering watchtowers are a testament to the indomitable will and creativity of the ancient Chinese people. Today, the Great Wall is not only a historical relic, but also an attractive tourist destination, attracting millions of visitors every year. In addition to military and royal architecture, China also has unique religious symbols, typically the Leshan giant Buddha. This is a giant Buddha statue carved directly into the cliff during the Tang Dynasty, 71 meters high, majestic and silent. The statue represents the long-standing beliefs of the Chinese people, bringing peace and protection to pilgrims. It is impossible not to mention the Shaolin Temple, the cradle of Chinese martial arts. This temple is where Kung Fu masters practice with strict discipline, combining martial arts and Buddhist spirit. The unique martial arts performances here make visitors amazed and admired. These works not only have historical value but are also cultural symbols of China, attracting tourists from all over the world to admire and learn about the glorious civilization of this country. Do you want to learn about women here? Leave number 1 in the comments section below so we can go together. If you love majestic nature, Zhangjiajie is a destination not to be missed. Here, there are giant stone pillars rising high into the sky, creating a surreal landscape, the inspiration for the magical scenes in the movie Avatar. No less attractive, Phoenix Ancient Town has a peaceful beauty, with ancient wooden houses along the poetic river. This town is an ideal place to experience the traditional cultural space of China. Finally, Zhuzhegu is known as heaven on earth, with clear blue lakes, reflecting the sky and colorful forests. The beautiful waterfalls make this place a dream destination for many tourists. Each place in China has its own beauty and attraction, contributing to the diverse and attractive tourism picture of this country. China is a vast country with a unique blend of past and future. From majestic mountain ranges like the Himalayas to modern cities like Shanghai, from ancient traditions like the Lantern Festival to technological breakthroughs with 5G and artificial intelligence, China is constantly developing and asserting its position on the world map. With a culture of more than 5,000 years of history, this country still maintains its own identity while absorbing modern innovations. Ancient structures like the Forbidden City or the Great Wall coexist with skyscrapers and the world's most modern high-speed train system. The combination of tradition and modernity is the special point that makes China attractive. China, a symbol of progress, where megacities shine, self-driving cars glide on highways, and technology leads the world. But behind the glamour lies a hidden story, the elderly who built the country, now left alone. Imagine an old man sitting quietly on a wooden chair, looking at a deserted village road, or an old woman collecting scrap metal in a dark alley in the city. In remote villages, only the sound of wind through broken windows. This is China in 2025, where the aging population crisis is exploding. By 2040, more than 400 million people over 60 will live here, far exceeding the population of the United States. But who will care for them? Who will ensure they are not poor or lonely? Today, we explore this invisible crisis from deserted villages to dark street corners, from unfulfilled promises to desperate efforts. This is the story of a nation racing against time. Get ready, because this journey will make you reflect on progress and compassion. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave your #1 comment to explore together. Let's get started. Since the 1980s, China has experienced an unprecedented migration. More than 350 million young people have left the countryside to find work in big cities, from factories in Dongguan to tech companies in Hangzhou. The economic boom has needed young workers, and they have flocked to cities with dreams of a better life. But the price of this migration is abandoned villages, where only the elderly and faded memories remain. In Hunan province, there are villages where more than 85% of residents are over 60. Once green rice fields are now overgrown with weeds. Schools that once echoed with the sound of reading are now closed, with dusty chalkboards. An old woman, Ms. Su, who lives in one such village, shares, "I miss the days when the whole village gathered together. Now, there are only a few of us left, living like ghosts." These villages have lost not just young people, but also life. Shops have closed due to lack of customers. Health clinics lack doctors and medicines. The elderly are left to do everything themselves, from growing vegetables to repairing their homes, despite their increasingly frail health. The exodus has brought prosperity to the cities, but it has also left an unfillable void at home. China has a pension system, but it is on the verge of collapse. In big cities, people who have worked in state-owned industries receive relatively stable pensions of around 4,000 to 6,000 yuan a month. But in the countryside, the average pension is only 150 to 400 yuan, not enough to buy food, let alone pay medical bills. According to a report by the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, more than 55% of rural seniors live below the national poverty line. "My pension is only enough to buy a little rice," said one elderly man, Mr. Liu, who lives in Guizhou province. "If I need medicine, I have to sell chickens or borrow money from my neighbors." The urban-rural divide is a serious problem, with poor provinces like Yunnan and Gansu often lacking funds to pay pensions. Experts predict that the national pension system could face a deficit of more than 12 trillion yuan by 2040, as the number of retirees far outstrips the number of contributors. The government has tried to raise the retirement age and encourage private pension funds, but these measures have been little more than a band-aid on a widening wound. The elderly are paying the price for the unpreparedness of a system that cannot keep up with the pace of an aging population. In 1980, China faced a difficult problem. how to control its population to promote economic development. The one-child policy was enacted, requiring each family to have only one child. The policy reduced the birth rate from 5.8 children per woman in 1970 to 1.5 in 2000, helping China avoid a population crisis. But it also created the demographic disaster that is unfolding today. In traditional societies, an elderly person could rely on many children to care for them. But with the one-child policy, an elderly couple had only one child, and this child often had to shoulder enormous pressures, long overtime work, high living costs in the city, and the responsibility of raising children of their own. Many young people even had to go abroad to study or work, leaving their parents alone. According to a study by Renmin University of China, more than 60% of rural elderly people do not have children living nearby. "My daughter is in Australia," said one man, Mr. Chow, who lives in Shanghai province. "She calls every week, but I don't want to tell her I'm sick. I'm afraid she'll worry." The one-child policy has reduced the number of young people, but at the cost of the disintegration of the family network that was once the backbone of Chinese society. With life expectancy rising to 78, seniors in China need more medical care than ever. But the public health system is being stretched to its limits. In rural areas, many clinics have just one doctor for hundreds of patients, and medical equipment is often outdated. In cities, large hospitals like Beijing's Union Hospital are often overcrowded, with long lines of elderly people waiting from early in the morning. A serious problem is the shortage of care workers. According to the China Medical Association, the country needs 12 million more caregivers by 2035, but currently has only about 500,000. Elderly care work is considered lowly, with an average salary of just 3,000 yuan a month. "I love this job, but I can't live on this salary," said a caregiver named Wei, who works at a nursing home in Tianjin. "Many of my friends have quit their jobs to become drivers or construction workers. The government has invested in nursing homes, but more than 70% are private facilities, costing between 8,000 and 15,000 yuan a month, far beyond the means of most seniors. Meanwhile, public nursing homes meet only 10% of demand, with waiting lists that stretch for years. As a result, many seniors are left to cope with ailments ranging from high blood pressure to diabetes without adequate medical support. For thousands of years, Chinese culture has been shaped by Confucian thought, where filial piety is an unshakable pillar. Elders are seen as sages, upholders of family and community traditions. In ancient villages, a family might consist of 5 generations living together, sharing joys and hardships. The elderly are at the center of rituals, from ancestral worship to longevity celebrations, and are cared for with devotion by their children and grandchildren. In ancient Chinese literature and art, the image of an old man sitting under a peach tree, telling stories to his grandchildren, is a symbol of harmony and longevity. Festivals such as Qingming and Chongqing have always paid special respect to the elderly, with gifts and wishes for good health. But the world has changed. The upheavals of the 20th century, from the Cultural Revolution to Deng Xiaoping's economic reforms, have shaken the traditional family structure. The introduction of the one-child policy and the wave of urbanization have caused millions of young people to leave their hometowns, leaving their parents and grandparents in cold homes. One grandmother, Ms. Du, who lives in Fujian province, shared, "In the past, my house was always filled with laughter. Now, it is just me and him, living with memories." Filial piety is still mentioned in political speeches and movies, but in reality, it is being suffocated by the pressures of modern life. When the pension system fails and children cannot care for them, many seniors turn to last resort shelters, temples, churches, or charities. In Jiangsu province, Longhua Temple has become a home for more than 50 homeless seniors. Monks cook simple meals, provide warm blankets, and listen to the stories of those who have no one else to share them with. One woman, Ms. Wu, who was found wandering the streets, now lives at the temple. "I thought I would die on the streets," she said. "Now I have a place to sleep and people who treat me like family." But places like Longhua Temple are only a temporary solution. According to China's Ministry of Civil Affairs, tens of thousands of seniors across the country live in charitable facilities, relying on donations and goodwill. Some NGOs have set up small, community homes, where seniors share rooms and receive basic care. But these facilities are often understaffed and under-equipped, leaving many without the care they need. "We try our best, but there are elderly people who need doctors and medicine that we don't have," said Mai, a volunteer at a facility in Hubei province. "Seeing them in pain, I feel helpless." These shelters are a testament to compassion, but also a warning about a system that cannot meet the needs of millions. In addition to poverty and lack of medical care, seniors in China face a silent enemy: loneliness. As children leave, neighbors disappear, and communities disintegrate, many seniors fall into depression. A study from Fudan University found that more than 45% of seniors in China experience severe loneliness, with the numbers even higher in rural areas. "I have a radio, but I don't turn it on anymore," said Mr. Feng, an elderly man from Zhejiang province. "The music doesn't make me feel less lonely. I just want to hear people's voices, even if it's just a hello." In some cities, community centers offer drawing, mahjong, or tai chi classes to give seniors a chance to socialize. But these programs only reach a small fraction of the population, and many still live in an eerie silence. Loneliness affects not only mental health, but also physical health. International studies show that lonely seniors are 30% more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, and stroke. In China, where the family used to be the center of life, loneliness among the elderly is a deep cultural wound, challenging the values that society once took pride in. China is not the only country facing an aging population. Japan, with more than 30% of its population over 65, has built an advanced elderly care system, using robotic assistance and programs to encourage seniors to work part-time. Germany has implemented national long-term care insurance, ensuring all seniors have access to health care. These models show that the crisis can be managed, but only with early preparation and heavy investment. China can learn from this by encouraging childbearing through policies such as housing subsidies, tax breaks for large families, and expanded parental leave. It also needs to train millions of caregivers and build affordable public nursing homes. But most of all, China needs to restore the value of its elderly to society, making them part of the community rather than a castaway. A notable initiative in Japan is Schools for the Elderly, where seniors teach children about history and culture. China could adopt this model, helping the elderly feel valued and connected to the younger generation. These changes will not be easy, but they are necessary to avoid a social catastrophe. The Chinese government is not ignoring the crisis. Since 2018, a long-term care insurance program has been piloted in 20 cities, allowing workers to contribute to a fund that pays for services such as nursing homes and home care. But the program lacks uniformity, with regulations varying from province to province. In Guangdong, seniors can receive medical subsidies, but in poorer provinces like Hunan, the program is virtually non-existent. The government has also pledged to have at least one senior center in every city by 2030, offering services like home visits and community activities. In Anhui province, a care village model has been piloted, where seniors live in small homes with the support of nurses and volunteers. But these initiatives are just pieces of a much larger puzzle. With a population of more than 1.4 billion people, China needs a comprehensive reform, from increasing the health budget to training human resources. Communities are also trying. In Yunnan province, a group of women have formed a sisters team, bringing food and clothing to lonely seniors. One grandmother, Ms. Yao, who received help from the group, said, "They don't just bring me food. They bring me joy." But these efforts, while valuable, are no substitute for a strong national care system. The aging crisis is not just a problem for the elderly, but a threat to China's entire economy and society. As the young population declines, the workforce shrinks, threatening the economic growth that was once the country's pride. According to the Asian Development Bank, China's elderly dependency ratio will rise from 22% today to more than 55% by 2050, meaning each worker will have to support more than 2 elderly people. Healthcare and elderly care costs are soaring, expected to account for more than 20% of GDP by 2040. Without reform, the pension system could collapse, leading to social unrest. "I work 12 hours a day, but I still worry about how I can take care of my parents," said Lan, a young worker at a company in Shenzhen. "If they get sick, I don't know what to do." These pressures could lead to social discontent, especially as younger generations feel caught between family responsibilities and personal ambitions. The crisis is also affecting culture. As the elderly are left behind, traditional values such as filial piety are fading, leaving a spiritual void in society. This is not just an economic issue, but a question of national identity. Imagine you are standing in Tiananmen Square in Beijing, where history meets modernity. Around you are sparkling glass buildings, dazzling digital billboards, and streams of young people rushing with new smartphones. You walk into a convenience store where a robot waiter delivers you a cup of bubble tea in seconds. In Guangdong, smart robot factories operate 24/7. In Hangzhou, tech companies like Alibaba are shaping the future of global e-commerce. But turn down a smaller street, and you'll find a different reality. An old man pushes a rickety cart, trying to sell some fruit to buy medicine. An old woman sits on the side of the road, her eyes glazed over as she watches the passers-by, unnoticed. And if you step away from the city lights and venture into the countryside of Hubei and Jiangxi provinces, you'll find villages almost devoid of young people. According to China's Ministry of Civil Affairs, more than 65% of residents in some rural areas are over 60. The empty houses, abandoned fields, and silent streets tell the story of a generation left behind. China is a country of contradictions. On one side lies the glory of technology and economic growth, on the other lies the darkness of inequality and neglect. How can a country lead the world in artificial intelligence, but leave millions of its elderly people living in poverty? China's aging crisis is a wake-up call to the world. Progress cannot be sustained if it ignores the people who sacrifice to achieve it. China has an opportunity to change by reforming its pension system, investing in healthcare, and building a society where seniors are respected not just in words, but in actions. Each of us has a role to play. Spend time with your grandparents, parents, or older people in your community. A phone call, a meal together, or a hug can do wonders. In China, these small acts are making a difference, from volunteer groups delivering meals to the elderly to children writing letters to their grandparents back home. We want to hear your thoughts. What about this story resonates with you the most? What do you think we can do to ensure that no one is left behind, in China or anywhere else? Leave a comment and share this video to spread the message. This is not just a story about one country, but a story about humanity and our responsibility to each other. China, a land of wonder and ambition, but also a place where millions of elderly people live in oblivion. From the deserted villages of Jiangxi province to the dark alleys of Shanghai, from temples that open their doors to the homeless to families torn apart by distance, this story is a reminder that progress is only meaningful when it lifts everyone up. There are countless more stories waiting to be discovered, from the hidden corners of China to global challenges. Which story would you like us to tell next? Leave a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to continue our journey through lesser-known stories. Thanks for joining us, and see you in the next video, where new horizons await. If Tibet brings us closer to the spiritual world, Xinjiang opens a completely different chapter, where the desert winds still carry the echoes of the ancient Silk Road. Xinjiang is a vast land in the far west of China, where the Taklamakan Desert, one of the harshest deserts in the world, stretches to the horizon. The journey through the Taklamakan is a test of patience and faith, when amidst the vast sea of sand, there still appear green oases, ancient vestiges, and whispers of history. This is also the homeland of the Uyghurs, an ethnic group with a strong Central Asian Muslim identity, with their own language, enchanting music with the sound of the rawap, graceful dances, spicy cuisine with lamb, grilled bread, and typical milk tea. In ancient cities like Kashgar and Turpan, the winding cobblestone alleys, colorful bazaars, and dome-shaped architecture with a strong Middle Eastern feel recall the glorious days of ancient merchants. The traditional market system is not only a place for trading, but also the soul of the community, where people trade, chat, and preserve the traditional way of life. From the footsteps of ancient merchants in Xinjiang, we will continue to travel north to Inner Mongolia, where vast grasslands stretch, and the sound of horse hooves echoes across the horizon. In the heart of southwest China, where mountains and rivers meander everywhere, Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, emerges as a gentle yet vibrant gem. Dubbed the City of Pandas and Tea Ceremony, this place is home to the world-famous Giant Panda Conservation Center. In the quiet and green space, the image of lazy pandas chewing bamboo or playing innocently has become a symbol associated with Chengdu's identity, attracting millions of tourists to admire and learn about conservation work. But Chengdu is not only about nature and cuteness. This city also conquers diners with its famous Sichuan cuisine, where the spicy taste of chili, the numbing taste of pepper, and the rich aroma of a series of local spices create dishes that people will never forget. When night falls, under the stage lights, the Peking opera mask transformation art makes the audience amazed, when each mask changes in an instant, revealing the unique depth of folk culture. Saying goodbye to the gentle and unique Chengdu, the next journey takes us down the Yangtze River to explore Chongqing, a 3D city standing between mountains and rivers, where architecture and modern life intersect with rare majestic terrain. In the heart of southwest China, where mountains and rivers meander everywhere, Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, emerges as a gentle yet vibrant gem. Dubbed the City of Pandas and Tea Ceremony, this place is home to the world-famous Giant Panda Conservation Center. In the quiet and green space, the image of lazy pandas chewing bamboo or playing innocently has become a symbol associated with Chengdu's identity, attracting millions of tourists to admire and learn about conservation work. But Chengdu is not only about nature and cuteness. This city also conquers diners with its famous Sichuan cuisine, where the spicy taste of chili, the numbing taste of pepper, and the rich aroma of a series of local spices create dishes that people will never forget. When night falls, under the stage lights, the Peking opera mask transformation art makes the audience amazed, when each mask changes in an instant, revealing the unique depth of folk culture. Saying goodbye to the gentle and unique Chengdu, the next journey takes us down the Yangtze River to explore Chongqing, a 3D city standing between mountains and rivers, where architecture and modern life intersect with rare majestic terrain. If there is a city that makes visitors look up and then look down in amazement, it is Chongqing, the most unique 3D city in China. Built on steep mountain slopes, where layers of roads, houses and subways overlap like a maze, Chongqing appears as an architectural masterpiece amidst rugged nature. High-rise buildings rise from the mountainside, bridges span deep ravines, and subways go through apartment buildings, all create an urban landscape that is both surreal and vibrant. As a major center of the southwest region, Chongqing not only stands out for its urban form but also maintains its unique culture, blending modern life with the open-minded, simple spirit of the people of the mountains. Underneath the concrete and lights, life still goes on every day on the Yangtze River, where ships and boats pass busily, carrying goods, memories, and even dreams of making a living. From bustling riverside wharves to floating markets, Chongqing's breath is closely linked to the constant flow of water. When night falls, the city seems to awaken with thousands of lights, shimmering on the river's surface, a vivid picture of Chongqing that never sleeps. And from here, we continue our journey down the Yangtze River, the great river that has witnessed thousands of years of history and the fierce survival of the Chinese nation. Like a vein running through the giant body of China, the Yangtze River, or Chongjiang, is not only the longest river in Asia, but also the soul of Chinese civilization throughout thousands of years of history. From its source in the Tibetan plateau to the mouth of Shanghai, this river has nurtured countless generations, witnessed the formation of dynasties, ancient cities, and great changes in Chinese society. The Yangtze is the vital waterway, the place for agricultural and commercial development, and the irreplaceable cradle of culture. The landscape along which the river passes is equally majestic, from rugged gorges, spectacular bends, to massive structures such as the Three Gorges Dam, an engineering marvel, and the world's largest hydroelectric power plant. Along both banks, life goes on every day, from simple small villages to bustling cities, all depending on the water and products of the river. However, the Yangtze River is also facing increasing challenges. Climate change causes unusual droughts or floods, and industrial encroachment weakens the ecosystem. Saying goodbye to the historic river that is undergoing challenges, the journey takes us north, where the Great Wall stands tall in the sky, an immortal symbol of the national will and strength to protect China's borders for thousands of years. As the journey comes to a close, what remains is not just beautiful footage, but the echoes of a culture that has lived through millennia. China is growing strongly in the digital age, but beneath each skyscraper, the sound of temple bells echoing from thousands of years ago is still heard. Amidst the wave of modernization, young Chinese people still sit and write calligraphy, still enjoy tea, still wear hanfu on holidays. And perhaps, the true beauty of China lies not in its external grandeur, but in the depth of memory, of identity, where the old and the new meet without confrontation, but together tell the story of a nation that has never stopped evolving. Because China is not just a destination, it is an emotion, a memory, and a journey that you will carry with you forever. If you feel that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment sharing your perspective, and turn on the notification bell to continue accompanying us on the next journeys. How vast the world is, but in the vast ocean, there are small paradises that make the heart stop. It's not just the white beaches, the turquoise water or the brilliant sunset, but also the soul of each island, where people, nature and time blend into a beautiful symphony. In today's video, I will take you on a journey through the most beautiful islands on the planet, from the unspoiled lands that few people know about, to the famous resort paradises around the world. If you love traveling not only with your feet, but also with your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment and share the island you want to visit the most, and start your journey of discovery right now. Have you ever imagined a place where you can open your eyes and see the ocean right at your feet? Maldives is the perfect definition of the phrase paradise in the middle of the ocean. Quietly located in the middle of the vast Indian Ocean, this island nation attracts visitors with hundreds of luxurious resorts floating on crystal-clear water, where each bungalow is like a private oasis in the middle of the turquoise water. Here, you can start your morning with a meal right in the middle of the ocean, while fish swim beneath the glass table. A relaxing afternoon in an underwater spa, where you can get a massage while admiring the magical coral world. And there is nothing better than ending a long day with a panoramic flight over the Maldives from a seaplane, a moment that makes people feel like they are lost in a dream with no way out. Maldives is not a place to explore the hustle and bustle, but a place to forget the hustle and bustle of life. A place that makes you forget about time, forget about social networks, leaving only you, your loved one, and the endless sea and sky. But somewhere in the vast Indian Ocean, there is still a place that does not need elaborate decoration, but still makes people sigh: Seychelles, the land of ancient stone curves and strangely pristine sea and sky. If nature is an artist, then Seychelles is a masterpiece carved from rock, sea and time. Like an ancient gem in the middle of the vast ocean, the island nation of Seychelles makes people feel like they have entered a fairy tale world with crystal-clear beaches, giant granite boulders that seem to have come from prehistoric times, and giant Aldabra tortoises leisurely walking on the pure white sand. Seychelles is a place where you can swim in water so clear that you can see the bottom, walk among the primeval palm forests, or simply sit under a tree, listening to the sea breeze tell ancient stories of the land and sky. But not only nature, Seychelles is also a convergence of three great cultures: strong Africa, brilliant India, and romantic France. All blend together to create a unique cultural identity, from architecture to cuisine, from music to people. This is not just a destination, but a journey back to the original beauty, where people and nature still go together in a rustic, peaceful way. And if you think that only the sea can make people surprised, then be ready to be conquered by Kauai, the greenest island of Hawaii, where the rainforests, waterfalls and steep cliffs will take you to a completely different planet. Do you believe there is a place on Earth that makes you feel like you are in a fantasy adventure movie? Welcome to Kauai, the island known as the Garden Isle, the emerald jewel of the Hawaiian archipelago. This is a place where nature seems to be untouched, wild and full of life. Kauai welcomes you with its rolling mountains, dense rainforests, and the majestic Na Pali coastline, one of the most beautiful and rugged coastlines in the world. From above, the mossy cliffs plunge straight into the sea, creating a breathtakingly majestic scene. And there is nothing better than sitting in a helicopter soaring over green canyons, soaring waterfalls, and lands that are still rarely touched by human footsteps. For those who love to explore, Kauai is a paradise for trekking through the jungle, kayaking across the Wailua River, and immersing yourself in the cool, humid atmosphere of pristine nature. This is not a place for luxury travel, it is a place to immerse yourself and let go. And if Kauai is an epic of wild nature, Maui is a gentle love song of waves, sunshine and brilliant sunrises on the top of volcanoes. Join me as we continue our journey to Hawaii's most charming island. Maui is more than just an island, it's a place where nature and the ocean come together to create a vibrant picture. Known as the island of perfect waves, Maui attracts surfers from all over the world with its powerful and challenging waves. But it's not just the ocean, Maui is also a great destination for whale-watching giant but gentle creatures as they migrate through the warm waters around the island in winter. One of the must-do experiences when visiting Maui is the journey on the legendary Hana Highway, where the winding curves take you past majestic waterfalls, lush rainforests and pristine bays. Each turn brings a new surprise, making the journey an enchanting adventure. Maui's summit is Haleakala, a giant volcano that rises more than 10,000 feet, where you can catch the most magical sunrise of your life. As the sun slowly rises, the light penetrates the hazy clouds, creating a mystical scene like something out of a fairy tale. Saying goodbye to sunny Hawaii, we will step into another land, St. Lucia, the romantic island of the Caribbean, where towering pitons and beautiful beaches await. There are places where nature creates masterpieces that you cannot take your eyes off, and St. Lucia is one of them. Standing out with the image of two giant pitons mountains rising like giant spikes from the deep blue ocean, this island brings a beauty that is both majestic and charming. Pitons is not only a symbol but also the heart of St. Lucia, attracting visitors from all over to admire and explore. In addition, St. Lucia also captivates people with its natural hot springs and special spa treatments from volcanic hot springs, an experience that helps the body and soul to completely relax. The unique black beaches, different from the usual white sand beaches, create a mysterious and poetic space, ideal for private and profound moments. With the combination of breathtaking natural scenery and peaceful atmosphere, St. Lucia becomes the perfect destination for couples looking for a sweet and unforgettable honeymoon. Leaving the quiet charm of St. Lucia, the next journey will take us to a completely different world, Bahamas, a brilliant kingdom of more than 700 large and small islands in the middle of the clear blue Caribbean Sea, where golden sunshine, white sand and tropical colors paint a vivid and enchanting picture of nature. If you've ever dreamed of a place where the water changes color every hour and the air is always filled with music, then the Bahamas is where that dream comes true. This archipelago is not only famous for its more than 700 islands, but also a paradise for the most unique and exciting experiences in the Caribbean. At Harbor Island, the pink beach stretches like a dreamy pastel silk strip, a rare gift from nature. In the Exuma area, visitors can immerse themselves in the clear water and play with swimming pigs, a one-of-a-kind experience that will make anyone laugh with delight. Not only beautiful, the Bahamas also has a fascinating history with stories of pirates, shipwrecks, and lost treasures from the golden age of the Caribbean. In addition, the giant coral reef and rich marine ecosystem make this place a paradise for those who love diving and exploring the ocean. Leaving the bustling Caribbean behind, we head to the east where Bali, Indonesia awaits with its spiritual beauty, majestic nature, and enchanting pace of life on the island of the gods. Bali is not just an island, it is a world that converges the essence of spirituality, nature, and unique culture. Located in the middle of the vast blue ocean, Bali possesses a beauty that is both peaceful and vibrant, making anyone who sets foot here feel the wonderful balance between life energy and inner peace. The highlight of Bali must be the green Ubud terraced fields, stretching along the hillsides, like giant artistic paintings of the earth and sky. Not only that, the legendary Tanah Lot Temple with its special location on a rock in the middle of the sea, is a sacred symbol and a destination that attracts thousands of pilgrims and admires the enchanting sunset. In addition, yoga retreat centers spread across the island are places to help you immerse yourself in the flow of energy, regenerating your health and spirit. Bali is a harmonious combination of vibrant cultural festivals, quiet moments of meditation, and brilliant natural scenery, making the journey of discovery here always inspiring and profound. Leaving Bali with nostalgia, we continue our journey to another paradise of Southeast Asia, Palawan, Philippines, a place known as Hidden Paradise in the heart of the ocean. Among the many beautiful islands of Southeast Asia, Palawan stands out as a hidden paradise, where the wild beauty is still almost intact. Located in the southwest of the Philippines, Palawan is known as an unpolished gem, attracting visitors with its breathtaking natural beauty and rare sense of peace. Here, El Nido Bay is a highlight not to be missed, with majestic limestone mountains rising from the turquoise water, creating a scene like a vivid ink painting. In addition, the Puerto Princesa underground river, one of the natural wonders of the world, is where you can drift gently between the mountains and feel the majesty of nature from deep within the earth. Palawan is an ideal destination for both adventure enthusiasts and those looking for a quiet getaway. You can kayak through mysterious lagoons, dive among colorful coral reefs, or simply sit on the white sand, listening to the gentle waves. Saying goodbye to the wild and majestic Palawan, we continue our journey to the middle of the Pacific Ocean to Fiji, a place known as a sparkling pearl in the middle of the vast ocean. If you are looking for an unspoiled tropical paradise, Fiji is the perfect answer. With more than 300 islands spread across the crystal-clear blue sea, Fiji offers a wild, peaceful and vibrant space. The pure white sand beaches, lush rainforests and friendly locals like longtime friends will make you feel like coming home from the first moment. Fiji attracts not only by its natural beauty, but also by countless exciting outdoor activities. You can try shark diving, an experience that is both thrilling and enchanting, when beautiful marine creatures swim around you. Or more gently, SUP, stand-up paddleboarding, on the calm water, enjoying every cool breeze and beautiful scenery. A special feature not to be missed are the traditional bamboo houses, where you can experience a simple life, close to nature and unique indigenous culture. Fiji is not just a destination, but a journey to discover the peace and pristine nature of the sea. And from this blue Pacific, we will travel to another legendary island, Bora Bora, France, where dreams of an underwater paradise come true. When it comes to the most luxurious resort paradises in the world, Bora Bora cannot be left out, the sparkling blue gem of the Pacific Ocean. The island is famous for its villas located on the emerald green water, where you can wake up in the middle of the ocean, feel the cool breeze, and warm sunlight through each glass window. This is an experience that anyone dreams of when coming to Bora Bora. The indispensable symbol of the island is the majestic Untamed mountain, an inactive volcano, standing tall like a natural fortress in the middle of the ocean. The landscape surrounding the mountain gives Bora Bora a magical wildness, while highlighting the harmony between natural beauty and modern, luxurious architecture of the resorts. Bora Bora is not only a romantic destination for couples, but also a place that brings absolute peace, a space to temporarily forget all the noise and fatigue of everyday life. Continuing our journey, we will come to Tahiti, the heart of French Polynesia, where indigenous culture blends with pristine natural beauty, creating a colorful and mysterious world. Tahiti, the largest island in the Polynesian archipelago, is where indigenous culture is still strongly present and alive in every breath of this tropical land. Not only famous for its majestic natural scenery, Tahiti also captivates visitors with its harmonious combination of majestic volcanoes, rushing waterfalls and mysterious black sand beaches. Every small corner of the island tells its own story, bringing an authentic and profound experience of the South Pacific. Indigenous culture in Tahiti is still preserved through traditional festivals, art and daily life of the people, making this place not only a tourist destination but also a valuable cultural treasure. Nature in Tahiti also fascinates those who love to explore with activities such as trekking through ancient volcanoes, bathing under cool waterfalls, or relaxing on pristine beaches. The wild, pristine, and diverse beauty of Tahiti gives visitors a full sense of the vitality of the ocean and land here. Leaving Tahiti, we will head to another natural paradise, the Galapagos Islands, Ecuador, a paradise of wildlife and landscapes that are unique on the planet. The Galapagos Islands, a biological treasure trove in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, are home to unique creatures that are hard to find anywhere else on Earth. Famous for its giant, slow-moving tortoises, friendly seals and equatorial penguins, the Galapagos are a unique, pristine and vibrant ecosystem. Each species here not only captivates people, but is also a living testament to the precious biodiversity of the planet. With its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Galapagos not only attracts scientists, but also greatly inspired Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, one of the greatest theories in human history. Explorations and research here have opened new doors to understanding and discovering the development of life on Earth. Coming to the Galapagos, you will not only admire the wild natural beauty, but also have the opportunity to understand more deeply the connection between humans and the environment, as well as the responsibility to preserve this precious natural world. And when the footprints are still left on the wild islands of the Galapagos, the journey takes us to a completely different world, Capri, Italy, where the beauty of the Mediterranean appears like a real-life fairy tale dream. Capri, where natural beauty blends perfectly with the elegance of Italy, is a destination that captivates anyone at first sight. Located in the middle of the blue Mediterranean Sea, Capri is not only famous for its majestic landscape, but also a symbol of sophistication and class. One of the most impressive natural wonders is the Blue Grotto, where sunlight penetrates the water, creating a magical luminous blue color, making visitors feel like they are entering a mythical world. It is impossible not to mention the towering Faraglioni cliffs in the middle of the sea, the eternal symbol of Capri, often appearing in movies, paintings, and even the dreams of romantic souls. Besides the natural beauty, the island is also a center of high-end fashion and resorts, attracting the upper class with luxurious boutiques and an elegant atmosphere down to every detail. Capri is not just an island, it is a lifestyle statement where every moment is an art form. From the refined and elegant beauty of Capri, we continue our journey to Mallorca, Spain, an island where vibrant parties meet the depth of Mediterranean culture. Mallorca, the largest island of the Balearic archipelago, is a place where every corner bears the mark of time, culture, and endless Mediterranean beauty. Not only attracting by the long beaches with turquoise water, Mallorca also fascinates visitors by the majestic Tramontana mountain range, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The winding roads take you through peaceful ancient villages, where the yellow-brown stone walls and balconies covered with bougainvillea tell stories of hundreds of years. What makes Mallorca special is the intersection between modernity and tradition. You can encounter bustling traditional festivals right in the heart of urbanized towns, or enjoy tapas and local wine in an old house converted into a luxurious bar. Besides the natural beauty, Mallorca is also a meeting place of art, fashion and music, giving visitors a rich and emotional experience. And while the warm Mediterranean sun still lingers on our skin, the journey invites us to Mauritius, where pristine tropical nature and cultural colors blend into a magical story. Have you ever been to a place where every scene carries the echoes of many cultures? A place like Mauritius, where beauty is not just to be seen, but to be felt with all your heart. At the crossroads of great cultures and vast oceans, Mauritius is a colorful picture of nature and people, where white beaches meet endless green tropical forests, where ancient volcanoes silently guard time. This island stands out not only for its beautiful nature, but also for its rich and unique cultural heritage. Influences from India, France, Africa, and China blend in the language, cuisine, and customs, making every step in Mauritius like discovering a part of the world. You can come across colorful Hindu temples next to ancient French churches, or bustling markets with spicy curry flavors next to European-style pastries. Mauritius is not only a destination of beauty, but also a place where you can feel harmony and diversity, a feeling that is both mysterious and full of life. Amidst the waves and magical colors, have you found your own island? Because who knows, your next trip may start from a dream that has just been awakened. As you travel through the world's most beautiful islands, from the crystal-clear waters of the Maldives to the mysticism of Mauritius, there's bound to be a place that has made your heart flutter. Is it the deep green cliffs of Kauai, the ancient temples among the rice terraces of Bali, or the dreamy pink beaches of the Bahamas? Each island has its own soul, a silent invitation that makes you unable to stop thinking about it. Which island on this journey has you dreaming the most? Share it with me in the comments, because sometimes, just saying the word can start a dream. And who knows, your next destination in life might be a faraway paradise, gently calling your name through the waves. Hello explorers, welcome to httravel, where we hunt for the most magical lands on the planet. Today, we set foot in the Czech Republic, a sparkling jewel in the heart of Europe, where fairy-tale castles blend with the world's best beer, and every street tells a 1,000-year-old story. Imagine sipping a cold pilsner in the middle of Prague Square, touching the 600-year-old astronomical clock, or cycling through the fragrant Moravian vineyards, while the sound of street violins echoes. With 10.7 million people and a colorful history, the Czech Republic is a symphony of nature, culture, and people. Are you ready to explore the heart of Europe? Type 1 in the comment to get your spirit up, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and fly to the Czech Republic, where all fairy-tale dreams come true. Nestled in the heart of Europe, the Czech Republic is a small country with an area of 78,866 square kilometers, the same size as Nayan province, but it contains a beauty that captivates the world. Bordered by Germany, Austria, Slovakia, and Poland, the Czech Republic is a cultural bridge between East and West, where medieval castles stand next to modern beer halls. Its population of 10.7 million, 2025, lives in 3 historical regions, Bohemia, Moravia, and Silesia, each like a distinct note in the Czech symphony. The capital city of Prague, known as the City of 100 Spires, is a cultural hub with Charles Bridge and Prague Castle, the largest castle in the world. The white, red, and blue flag symbolizes unity and peace. With a GDP per capita of about $27,000, 2025, tourism contributes 7% of the economy, attracting 10 million visitors each year. Czech, though difficult to learn, is as smooth as a melody, and English is widely spoken in the big city. Imagine walking through Old Town Square, hearing the chimes of the horloge clock, smelling the Tridelnik, and feeling Czech like an ancient book opening before your eyes. The Czech Republic is a historical journey of more than 1,000 years. From the 9th century, the Kingdom of Bohemia emerged as a European power, with kings building Prague Castle and the Charles Bridge. In the 14th century, under King Charles IV, the Czech Republic became a cultural center with Charles University, one of the oldest universities in Europe. After that, the Czech Republic fell under the rule of the Habsburg Empire and the Soviet Union, but the spirit of freedom never died. In 1989, the bloodless Velvet Revolution, led by Václav Havel, liberated the Czech Republic from communism. In 1993, Czechoslovakia peacefully split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Today, the Czech Republic is a member of the EU, NATO, and a vibrant democracy. The National Museum in Prague holds artifacts from the time of King Charles to the Velvet Revolution, like a living book. Imagine standing on Wenceslas Square, where the Velvet Revolution broke out, hearing the echoes of freedom, and feeling Czech history embrace you. Despite its small size, the Czech Republic is a melting pot of natural beauty. The Sudety in the north, with the 1603 Snežka Peak, is a winter ski paradise that attracts thousands of visitors from Germany and Poland. The Bohemian Paradise, a geologically unique area with towering sandstone columns, is ideal for hiking, cycling, and Instagramming. Lakes like Lipno in South Bohemia sparkle like pearls, perfect for kayaking. The Czech climate is temperate, with 4 distinct seasons: glorious summers, 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, for hiking, and snow-capped winters, -5 to -10 degrees Celsius. National parks like Šumava protect primeval forests and rare brown bears. Imagine cycling through the Bohemian Paradise, the cool breeze in your hair, the scent of pine trees in the air, and giant stone columns standing guard over the sky. The Czech Republic is a call from nature. Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, is known as the City of 100 Spires, and was ranked the most beautiful in the world by Time Out 2021. With Prague Castle the largest in the world according to Guinness, the 14th-century Charles Bridge, and the 600-year-old Orloj astronomical clock, Prague feels like something out of a fairy tale. Old Town Square bustles with street performers, the smell of baking trdelník, and the ringing of church bells. Prague is easy to live in: low costs, clean air, efficient public transportation, metro tickets are $1. Festivals like the Signal Light Festival turn the city into a stage of light. Imagine standing on the Charles Bridge, watching the Vltava River sparkle, listening to street violins, and feeling lost in a medieval painting. Prague is the heart of the Czech Republic, where the past and the present come together. If Germany is the king of beer, the Czech Republic is the legend. With a consumption of 188 liters per capita in 2025, the Czech Republic leads the world. A glass of Pilsner Urquell, the world's first golden beer, costs just $1.5-2, cheaper than bottled water. Every town has a hospoda with a traditional recipe, from Budweiser Budvar in Česk to Radgast in Moravia. Beer is a ritual. People drink it outdoors even in -10 degrees Celsius weather, chatting by the fireplace. The Czech Beer Festival in Prague in May is the Czech version of Oktoberfest, with hundreds of beers, folk music, and grilled sausages. Imagine sitting in a hospoda, raising a golden beer, smelling the malt, and feeling the Czech heartbeat with each sip. The Czech Republic is a land of festivals, where tradition and joy blend together. On Easter, young women smile brightly as they are lightly beaten with a willow whip, a custom that brings health and good luck. Afterwards, the whole village raises glasses of Slivový plum wine to celebrate. On May 1st, couples kiss under the cherry blossom trees, wishing for everlasting love, creating a romantic scene like in the movies. The Masopust Festival in February turns the countryside into a stage with colorful costumes, fresh flowers, and all-day parties. The Signal Light Festival lights up Prague with light art. Imagine standing under the cherry trees, listening to the laughter of Easter, or dancing in Masopust, feeling the joy of Czech life like a spring breeze. Czechia is a tale of two lands, Bohemia in the west and Moravia in the east, like two sides of the same coin. Bohemia, with its capital Prague, is the center of power, scholarship, and majestic Gothic architecture. Bohemians are reserved, down-to-earth, castle-loving, and beer-loving. Moravia, with its city of Brno, is warmer, famous for its wine, folk music, and rustic wooden houses. The architecture reflects the differences. Prague is splendid with its Charles Bridge, Brno is friendly with its squares full of cafes. The Czech language in Moravia is soft, like a song, while in Prague it is clear and precise. Despite their differences, Bohemia and Moravia are inseparable. Imagine sipping beer in Prague, then drinking wine in Moravia, feeling the two Czech souls blending in your heart. In the Old Town Square, the Orloj astronomical clock is a 600-year-old masterpiece, the oldest in the world still in operation. Not only does it tell the time, the Orloj tracks the position of the sun, the phase of the moon, the 12 signs of the zodiac, like a miniature universe on stone. Every hour, the wooden figures death, apostles move, attracting thousands of visitors. The Orloj reflects the Czech people's passion for astronomy. From the 16th century astronomer Tycho Brahe to the astronaut Vladimir Remek, the first Czech in space, in 1978 the Czech Republic has always looked to the stars. Imagine standing in front of the Orloj, hearing the bells ring, seeing death ring the bells, and feeling time stand still in the heart of Prague. The Czech Republic is a land of love, where romantic customs make hearts flutter. Couples hang love locks on bridges in Prague or Český Krumlov, engraved with their names as a promise of eternity. According to Prague Morning, more than 1,200 locks are added each year, creating a sparkling wall of love. Kissing under the cherry trees on May 1st is a symbol of happiness. Randmodel organizes speed dating events in Prague, where Czechs and foreigners meet over coffee and wine. Czechs date equally, women confidently invite you to coffee, 50% of the bill is split, CVVM. Imagine hanging a lock on the Charles Bridge, locking your love, or laughing out loud during a speed dating session, finding your other half in the heart of the Czech Republic. Český Krumlov, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a gem of South Bohemia, where the Vltava River winds around red-roofed, Gothic castles. Dubbed the Czech Santorini, the town is enchanting with Europe's only revolving open-air theater and cozy cafes. Visitors kayak, watch operas, and stroll the old town. The Five-Petaled Rose Festival in June reenacts medieval times with parades, sword fights, and wine parties. Imagine sitting by the Vltava River, sipping coffee, listening to music from the castle, and feeling lost in the 15th century. Český Krumlov is a place where time stands still. Karlovy Vary, the spa town in western Bohemia, is where European royalty such as Goethe and Beethoven relaxed. With 13 natural hot springs, 30 to 72 degrees Celsius, Karlovy Vary is a spa paradise, healing stress and arthritis. Visitors sip mineral water from porcelain cups, strolling past splendid Baroque houses. The Karlovy Vary Film Festival, Europe's oldest film festival, attracts Hollywood stars. Imagine soaking in hot springs, fragrant steam, looking at pastel-colored houses, and feeling the luxury of Czech royalty. Although 73% of the population lives in cities, Czechs love nature more than anything else. Most families have a chata or chalupa, a wooden house in the countryside where they camp, bike, and pick mushrooms on weekends. According to the Institute of Sociology in Prague, 70% of Czechs pick mushrooms at least once a year, turning the forest into a culinary treasure trove. The Czech Republic has 40,000 kilometers of hiking and biking trails, from Šumava Park to Krkonos. Czechs love dogs, 2 million dogs in a population of 10.7 million, and parks and trams are pet-friendly. Imagine picking mushrooms in the Šumava forest, your dog running around, the smell of the forest, and the feeling of being one with Czech nature. Czech cuisine is a call from the heart of Europe. Vepronedlo zelo, roast pork with steamed dumplings and sauerkraut, is the national dish, priced at $5 to $8. Svikova, beef stew in cream sauce with cranberry jam, melts the taste buds. Trudelnik, baked dough tubes sprinkled with cinnamon sugar, is a street food not to be missed. Slivovis plum brandy, 40 to 50% alcohol, is the fire of the party. Hospita serves grilled sausages, fried potatoes, and cold beer. Imagine sitting in a hospita, sipping Svikova, raising a glass of Slivovis, listening to the laughter, and feeling the warmth of Czech culture. Brno, the capital of Moravia, is a friendly Czech gem. With its cafe-filled Svoboda Square, Spilberk Castle, and St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, Brno has a warm, welcoming feel that is different from the glitz of Prague. It is a tech hub, with startups and Masaryk University attracting international students. September's Moravian Wine Festival turns Brno into a wine lover's paradise. Imagine sitting in Svoboda Square, sipping white wine, listening to folk music, and feeling like Brno is your second home. In 2023, internet star Kazma shocked the world by dropping $1 million from a helicopter onto a field in Lisa nad Labem, calling it the world's first money rain. It was originally a prize for the codebreaker on his show, but when no one succeeded, Kazma let the money fall freely for 4,000 people to pick up. Each dollar bill had a QR code linked to a charity, spreading a positive message. The Money Rain video has reached millions of views on TikTok. Imagine standing in the middle of a field, money falling, cheering, and feeling like you're in a Hollywood movie. Czechs live slowly, enjoying small pleasures. In Prague, you will see people sipping coffee in the old square, cycling along the Vltava River, or buying fresh bread at the corner shop. According to Numbeo, 2025, Prague is ranked in the top 20 most livable cities in Europe thanks to its safety, cleanliness, and public transportation. Although only 18.7% of the population is religious, 2020, Czechs preserve traditions through festivals and farmers' markets. Trams are a symbol of Prague, moving leisurely, allowing you to see the city. Imagine sitting on a tram, listening to the jingling bells, looking out the window at the old town, and feeling the peaceful pace of Czech life. The Czech Republic is an ideal destination with low cost and high quality. One-bedroom apartment in the center of Prague costs $700 to $900 per month. In Brno, $400 to $600. Meals at a cheap restaurant $6 to $10, high-end restaurants up to $25. Beer $1.5 to $2, train ticket $1. Electricity, water, internet for the apartment $150 to $200 per month, high-speed internet $20. A person can live comfortably in Prague with $900 to $1,200 per month. A small family needs $2,000. Imagine living in Prague, sipping coffee in the morning in Old Town, drinking beer in the evening at Hospita. Your wallet is still full. The Czech Republic is a budget travel paradise. 3-star hotels in Prague cost $60 to $100 per night, hostels $15 to $30. Street food like Trudelnik $2 to $4, beer $1.50. Flights from Europe, London, Paris, take 2 to 3 hours, cost $100 to $200 round trip, from the US, New York, 7 to 8 hours, $500 to $800. Vietnamese citizens need a Schengen visa through the Czech embassy. Easy to get around by tram, metro, $1 to $2 or rent a car $30 per day to explore Český Krumlov. Tourist areas of Prague, Brno, Karlovy Vary are safe, but watch your wallet in crowded places. Imagine driving through Moravia, stopping for wine tasting, planning to see Orlage. The Czech Republic, though small, is proof that a nation can make a big impact. From the Velvet Revolution of 1989, when people peacefully won their freedom, to wonders like the 600-year-old Orlage clock and the majestic Prague castle, Czechs have turned adversity into art. Tech startups are booming in Brno, the Signal Light Festival lights up Prague, and a passion for astronomy from Tycho Brahe to astronaut Vladimir Remek shows that the Czech Republic is always looking to the future, where the stars lead the way. Czech Republic is not just a destination, but a lesson in life, perseverance, love of nature, enjoy every moment. Imagine yourself standing on the top of Snežka, 6:03 am, the Sudeti's wind blowing, the green valley stretching out, and then in the evening raising a glass of Pilsner beer in the hospita, the tinkling sound telling the story of life. Czech whispers, life is meaningful. What do you learn from Czech Republic? Share in the comments creativity, love of nature, or slow living. The Czech Republic, a sparkling jewel in the heart of Europe, where fairy tale castles, fragrant beer, and majestic nature intertwine. From the Orlage astronomical clock telling the story of the universe in Prague, the bustling Easter festival with willow whips and Slivovus wine, to the Bohemian Paradise Trail with its giant sandstone columns, the Czech Republic is a testament to the beauty of perseverance and creativity. Imagine yourself standing on the Charles Bridge, the Vltava River sparkling at sunset, sipping a cold Pilsner, listening to street violins, and feeling like you are living in a fairy tale. The Czech Republic is not just a destination, but an invitation to slow down and enjoy every moment. What do you love most about the Czech Republic? Share in the comments bittersweet Pilsner, majestic Prague castle, or the custom of kissing under the cherry trees. If this journey makes you dream of Europe, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to continue the adventure. The Czech Republic awaits you with its sunshine, its thousand-year-old story, and its beers that tell of resilience. See you soon, live life to the fullest and explore the world. Reached out to Africa, India, Brazil, and many other distant lands. Although that era has long since passed, its influence still permeates the language, religion, architecture, and culture. You can see the Manueline cross on many ancient structures, hear Portuguese in Angola, Mozambique, or Brazil. It is the echo of an empire that once traveled to the four corners of the earth. And from those golden pages of history, let me return to the present, where each city, each street of Portugal continues to tell the story with its own vivid beauty. There are cities that don't need to try to stand out, because their rustic, quiet nature is already an enchanting love song. Lisbon is such a place. The Portuguese capital is neither flashy with modernity nor as fast-paced as other European megacities. Here, you will start your day by climbing the gentle hills, where each ancient stone step takes you through alleys covered with blue azulejos tiles, a typical Portuguese art symbol. The ancient yellow tram clangs through the Alfama neighborhood, the oldest heart of Lisbon, where time seems to have stopped centuries ago. The next stop is the historical structures associated with the glorious era of this country, Belém Tower, a silent sentinel on the banks of the Tagus River, and Geronimo's Monastery, a masterpiece of Manueline architecture where Vasco da Gama prayed before his journey to explore the world. As the afternoon falls, take a stroll through the vast Praça do Comércio Square, where the sea and history meet in absolute serenity. And then at night, in a small cafe hidden somewhere in Alfama, you will sip a cup of hot coffee, silently listening to the soulful singing of a fado, a haunting melody that penetrates every corner of the soul. Leaving Lisbon, we will continue our journey north, where the ancient city of Porto awaits with completely different colors. Nestled on the quiet Douro River, Portugal's second-largest city, is like a sad melody resonating between reality and memory. Each wave gently lapping the shore, sparkling under the sunlight, reflects the red-tiled roofs and old walls of the Ribeira Old Town, a UNESCO-recognized World Heritage Site. Here, every step, every window frame carries a story, an indelible mark of time. Spanning the river is the Dom Luis I Bridge, a majestic steel structure designed by Gustave Eiffel's student, connecting the two banks of history and modernity. Strolling on the bridge at sunset, when the sunlight pours gold onto the river's surface, is a romantic yet somber experience, making people feel like they are entering a dream that they do not want to wake up from. On the other side of the bridge, the famous Porto wine cellars lie quietly, where the sweet wine flows in each oak barrel as if preserving the soul of the city. The dim space and the smell of damp wood in the air make time seem to slow down. Enjoying a glass of wine right where it was born, in the quiet space between the sunset, is an unforgettable experience for anyone who has ever set foot here. Porto is not noisy, not ostentatious, but has a quiet and profound charm. It is a place where people can easily find peace, or even themselves, in the small corners of the streets imbued with fairy tales. Goodbye Porto, the city of beautiful, poetic sadness. The next journey will take us to the sunny and windy south, where the Algarve beaches are whispering an invitation. If you've ever dreamed of a seaside paradise where golden cliffs, hidden beaches and pretty fishing villages make for the perfect backdrop, then the Algarve is where your dreams come true. Southern Portugal is a magical land where nature takes on a vibrant color palette, from unusually shaped cliffs to pristine beaches that only the waves can paint. Lagos charms with its quaint harbor and turquoise waters, while Albufeira fascinates with its colorful streets and bustling beach bars. One of the highlights is the Benagel Cave, a natural limestone wonder where light streams through the dome to create a magical scene. The Algarve isn't just for those who love to relax on the beach. Here, you can surf the cool waters of the Atlantic, kayak through mysterious caves, or simply enjoy moments of relaxation in a peaceful and serene space. But Portugal also has another paradise, where a Garden of Eden welcomes you in the middle of the ocean. Join me in discovering Madeira Island, where lush gardens grow between majestic mountains and impressive coastlines. Imagine an enchanting island where majestic mountains embrace the lush green Loure Silva forest, and steep cliffs reveal the power of nature that is Madeira. Known as the jewel of the ocean, Madeira is a paradise with a landscape that changes every moment. The Loure Silva forest, a world natural heritage, with ancient trees covered in endless green, is where you can immerse yourself in a wild and peaceful world. Along the Levada Trail's ancient water channels, you will have the opportunity to explore the winding trails through beautiful landscapes, where the light through the tree canopy creates dreamy pictures. Not only nature, Madeira is also the place of brilliant flower festivals, where thousands of flowers bloom in the vibrant air. And don't forget to enjoy the famous Madeira wine, with a special flavor bearing the mark of this island. Island life is quiet and idyllic, yet full of life, where every moment makes you feel like you are in another world. However, Portugal is not only Madeira. Let's continue our journey to the Azores Islands, where nature is even more pristine and majestic, waiting for us to discover. Do you dare to stand on the crater of a dormant volcano, where nature remains wild and mysterious? The Azores Islands are such a place, where each island possesses the magical beauty of pristine nature. The majestic volcanoes still stand steadfastly in the middle of the ocean, creating spectacular landscapes that are hard to find anywhere else. Here, you will admire the clear blue crater lakes, reflecting the vast sky. In addition, the natural hot springs are an ideal destination to relax and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere, immersed in the tranquility of nature. With mysterious paradises such as São Miguel, Pico, and Terceira, every step on the remote trails will make you feel the majesty of the land and the peaceful sounds of the mountains and forests. This is where you can immerse yourself in nature, explore the trails of ecotourism, or explore the ocean floor through exciting diving trips. The Azores are not only a paradise for those who love a life close to nature, but also a place that contains mysterious stories and unique cultural heritages. Each island has its own unique beauty, not yet fully discovered. However, our journey of discovery does not stop here. Next, we will go to the villages where time seems to stand still, to feel the peaceful and ancient breath of Portugal. If there is any place that makes you feel like you are lost in a fairy tale, it is the time-warp villages of Portugal. Try stepping through the gates of Abidos, a small town nestled within ancient medieval walls. The cobblestone streets, white houses dotted with bougainvillea, and peaceful atmosphere make this place feel like a dream sleeping in the middle of the modern world. You will hear the echoes of the past in every stone, every small step leading up to the wall overlooking the peaceful countryside. Leaving Abidos, we come to Monsaraz, a stone village perched precariously on a hilltop in the Alentejo region. The feeling here is different, both majestic and gentle. Mossy stone walls, winding small roads leading to quiet squares where time seems to breathe very slowly. There is no car horn, only the sound of wind blowing through the old tiled roofs, creating a strangely fairy tale space. And somewhere in the vast Alentejo, white villages appear like poetic dots in the middle of the arid fields. They are not noisy, but full of nostalgia, as if inviting you to sit down and listen to the stories of centuries gone by. From these fairy tale villages, we will step into another world, where unique architectural works tell the history of Portugal through each stone column and arch, from the ornate Manueline to the bold modernism. If there is one way to read Portuguese history without turning a page, it is by looking at their architecture. From ornate structures to bold modern designs, every detail tells a story of the glory days of this once mighty maritime empire. The most representative is the Manueline style, a distinctive architectural style unique to Portugal, which emerged during the Golden Age, the Age of Discovery. With its intricate carvings, rope motifs, shells, and maritime symbols, Manueline is not only a symbol of art but also a declaration of national pride. Buildings like the Belém Tower or the Jerónimos Monastery are not simply relics, but embodiments of a golden age where faith and royalty coexisted. Today, Portugal is constantly renewing itself through contemporary architectural works such as the Vasco da Gama Bridge, one of the longest bridges in Europe, or the Casa de Música in Porto, a unique theater with a groundbreaking geometric design, reflecting unlimited creativity. And if architecture is the soul of this country, then the walls also become living canvases. Join me in the world of Azulejos ceramic tile art, where each wall tells stories through colors and images. Have you ever stood in front of a wall and felt like you were reading a story? In Portugal, Azulejos tiles can do just that. More than just a decorative material, Azulejos are a unique form of storytelling, where history, religion, and even folklore come to life through color and pattern. Since the 15th century, these tiles have become an integral part of Portuguese visual culture, appearing everywhere from palaces, churches, to small houses along the streets. One of the most brilliant examples of this art is the São Bento train station in Porto, where each wall is a page of history. Over 20,000 tiles are arranged to create historical scenes, depicting battles, royal weddings, and everyday life. You not only see, but also seem to hear the stories echoing from the past, through each piece of porcelain that is skillfully and emotionally arranged. Today, modern azulejos not only exist in historical relics, but also infiltrate street art and contemporary architecture. The colorful walls in Lisbon or Porto have become visual symbols of the whole country, reflecting the creative spirit and pride of the local culture. And now, when your eyes are full of color, let your ears listen to another art form full of passion, full of confidences, Fado, the song of restless souls. Born from the ports, the working class, and the lonely hearts of the turbulent times, Fado carries within it a saudade and emotion that cannot be fully translated into words. It is both nostalgia, regret, and sometimes a vague hope for what has been lost. People do not listen to Fado with their ears, but feel it with their hearts. The soulful voice, the guitar vibrates with every emotion as if telling the stories of sailors, mothers waiting for their children, or travelers in the lonely Lisbon night. The legendary Amalia Rodriguez, the Queen of Fado, has elevated this genre to the status of national soul, and Marisa has brought Fado to the modern world without losing its old soul. Fado does not need a big stage. A small bar in a Lisbon alley, or a quiet square under yellow lights, is enough for the voice to soar, piercing the heart like a gentle knife. It's not just music, it's the Portuguese soul. After being captivated by the soul-filled sounds, let's enter another equally captivating aspect where each dish is a slice of memory, a symphony of the sea, the fire, and the love for life. There is one way to understand the soul of a nation: best taste their food. Portuguese cuisine is not fussy and ornate, but has an unforgettable flavor, just like the people here, sincere, deep, and full of emotion. Start with bacalhau, salted cod, prepared in hundreds of ways, from grilled, fried to stewed with potatoes. The Portuguese believe that bacalhau can be eaten all year round without repeating the same recipe. On the street grill, sardines, fatty sardines, give off a fragrant aroma, reminiscent of bustling summer festivals. A hot bowl of caldo verde kale soup with chorizo sausage, or a heavy francinha sandwich from Porto will make you understand why the Portuguese love dinner so much. Don't miss the sweet world of pastel de nata, a small but enchanting egg tart, with a crispy crust and a creamy filling that melts in your mouth. Queijadas from Sintra or Bolo Rei during Christmas are dishes that are not only for the palate, but also for nurturing family memories and traditions. A meal in Portugal is not just about eating. It is an occasion for conversation, sharing, and slow living, from quaint street-side cafes to cozy family restaurants. Once the flavors have brought you closer to the Portuguese soul, prepare to immerse yourself in a world of vibrant colors and sounds where culture and celebration flourish in everyday life. There are moments in life that make you forget about time, and in Portugal, those are the dreamy, dazzling festivals. Here, festivals are not just events, they are the soul, the identity, the bustling beat of a people who love life, love tradition, and love the brilliant dreams woven with light and sound. In Porto, the Festa de São João night is a miracle. The whole city awakens in the colors of fireworks, cheers, and head-knocking games with rubber hammers. No one is angry, only laughter and affection spread. The Madeira Flower Festival is a gentle love song of nature and people, where each flower float is a living work of art. Braga wears its traditional clothes in solemn and sacred religious processions. Coming to Torres Vedras, you will be drawn into the most humorous and creative world of carnival, where all boundaries are erased by laughter. These festivals are not only a time to celebrate, but also a profound expression of the Portuguese spirit, where joy is considered an essential part of life. And after all that hustle and bustle, let's pause for a moment to discover the deepest thing that makes Portugal beautiful: the people here, simple, warm, and poetic. There is a strange thing about Portugal: the longer you stay, the more you feel like you are slowing down, but you don't miss anything important. The lifestyle here is not noisy, not rushed. The Portuguese live by emotions, by sincere connections, and an open heart. They don't need to say much to express their hospitality: just a cup of hot coffee, A loving nod is enough to make you feel like you have belonged here for a long time. In the peaceful countryside, it is easy to see the image of old people sitting on the porch, their eyes looking far away, as if they are carrying a memory longer than the village road in front of them. They don't live for the hustle and bustle, they live for the connection with the land, with people, and with time. On the contrary, in the heart of cities like Lisbon or Porto, the young people have a sophisticated, modern but still profound style, as if there is always an invisible thread connecting them and the past. Traveling across this country, you will see that seemingly small moments, a gentle smile, a knowing look, a story told over a glass of wine, are what make Portugal leave a deep impression on the traveler's heart. Then you suddenly realize, the journey to Portugal is not only to discover a land, but also a quiet return to yourself. Portugal, a small land but contains timeless beauty, making every moment here precious and memorable. From ancient streets, peaceful villages, to pristine beaches, everything has a beauty that is both familiar and mysterious. The journey to discover Portugal is not just a trip to a destination, but also a journey to find parts of yourself, forgotten memories, simple joys, and sublime moments in life. Coming to Portugal is not to mark a destination, but to find a part that has been forgotten in ourselves, the place where light begins, and the most beautiful memories. Click subscribe to the channel to not miss the next interesting journeys, and don't forget to comment on your experiences or share your thoughts about this wonderful country. They say if you want to understand the past of mankind, go to Egypt. But if you want to understand how humans evolved from the past to the future, go to China. With a history of more than 5,000 years, China is not just a country, but a world of its own, with majestic landscapes, the majestic Himalayas, mysterious deserts, quiet ancient villages, and bright megacities. On this journey, we will not only cross high mountains, long rivers, or bustling cities, but also explore the soul of this great civilization. If you love deep cultural journeys like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to share your feelings, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And now, let's begin the journey to discover China, a mysterious and colorful country, where the past and the future blend in every breath. Few places in the world are as fascinatingly paradoxical as China, where you can have one foot in ancient history and the other in the technological future. With an area of over 9.6 million square kilometers, China is the fourth largest country on the planet, stretching from the Tibetan Plateau to the Pacific coast. It is also home to more than 1.4 billion people, the world's largest population, with more than 50 ethnic minorities, and hundreds of languages and dialects coexisting in a multi-layered, multidimensional cultural space. Its geographical location is both a strategic advantage and a source of astonishing diversity. To the west are mountains, deserts, and plateaus. To the east are plains, deltas, and bustling cities. Each region has its own identity, from architecture, cuisine, language to lifestyle, creating a vivid overall picture. The most special thing is the fascinating contrast: the ancient city wall towering over the high-speed train line, the sound of temple bells mixed with the sound of machinery, the traditional countryside next to the modern city. And in this journey of discovery, we will start from west to east, from the sacred land of Tibet to the vibrant coastal cities, to open up the vivid layers of a China that is colorful, multi-layered, and full of surprises. There are places that will amaze you with their natural beauty, and places that will silence you with their spiritual depth. Tibet is a place where both come together. The Tibetan Plateau, the roof of the world, is located at an altitude of more than 4,500 meters, where snow-capped mountains curve under clear skies all year round, and the Himalayas stand like pillars connecting the earth and the sky. This is not just